So today I sat down and spoke to a car expert about how much car you can actually afford by income. But instead of talking about this here in my studio from a hypothetical point of view, we went on location to several different car dealers, including Chrysler, Ram, Ford, Dodge, Honda, Toyota, Kia. We looked at American muscle cars, trucks, used cars, and even luxury exotics. Now, throughout the video, you're gonna see us reference something called the 24-10 rule. And all that means is that whenever you go to buy a car, you should aim to put down at least 20% towards the total purchase price as a down payment, finance it for no more than 48 months or 4 years, and whatever the total monthly payment turns out to be, have that represent no more than 10% of your total monthly payment. Now, if that sounds confusing, we're gonna show you all of these cars as examples through the context of the real world and what cars are available in the market today.
So thanks for coming for another ride along. Today we're actually gonna be driving around to a bunch of franchise dealerships to show you how unaffordable new cars have become. Now, we're currently in Las Vegas, but all franchise dealers almost have the exact same pricing when it comes to new and used vehicles. And we're also gonna go over some of the tips and tricks that I recommend people use to when they're either buying cars with either cash, financing, or if they're looking to buy a used car, some of the things they need to look for and some of the pitfalls to watch out for. So the first dealership we're going to go to is going to really hit home on how unaffordable new cars have become. You may not have Ferrari money, but you may have Maserati money. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the MC20. This is a 2023. We can see that the actual window sticker of this car is $283,000. So let's go ahead and do the math using your formula. We got $283,000, and for the 20% down payment, you're going to have to put $56,600 down. Interest rate of 7% at 48 months. You're looking at a payment of $5,900, almost $6,000. But let's say you have that OnlyFans money and you're balling out of control. You can buy this 2023 Rolls-Royce Ghost for only $418,000. If you register this thing in the state of Nevada, it'll cost you $34,000 in sales tax. So let's go ahead and look at the numbers. If you want to buy this car, you have to put $83,000 down at 20%, and with a monthly payment 48 months of only $10,635.
Only about $100,000 a month.
Yeah, that's a drop in the bucket for these OnlyFans girls. So now that we looked at a bunch of cars that weren't obtainable unless you're Scam Bankman-Fried or you're an OnlyFans model, you know, we're going to take you to another dealership where you can get something that's very affordable and high demand. We're talking American muscle cars and American trucks. People love them, America loves them, and banks love them. Let's go check them out.
Okay, so we're now at the first dealership, and I want Lucky to explain what some of these cars are because we are at the Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram dealership. So Lucky, walk us through it.
Show us what's available.
Okay, so I know Dodge Challenger is a super popular car, and this one right here is selling for $44,900. Now, everybody loves these cars, they're extremely popular, but this one right here for 44 grand is only a V6, not even a V8. If you do want a V8, we got one here right next to us. One, not too many options, just kind of a base package. You're looking at $55,729 for a basic American sports car.
Let's run the numbers on this one.
Okay.
It's more affordable. So it's $44,500. We're gonna run the math using the 24-10 rule. And we're gonna assume a 20% down payment. And let's see, what do we got?
7% interest, so $44,500, $8,500 down, interest rate at 7%, your sales tax, because Uncle Sam's gotta get his, 48 months, you're looking at almost $1,000 payment.
So $1,000 a month is the monthly payment. And remember, the 24-10 rule says that that can't be more than 10% of your monthly income. So you need to make at least $10,000 a month to be able to reasonably afford this car using that principle.
So the next vehicle we want to show you is a very popular one in the United States. It is a Dodge Ram crew cab truck. Now this is a basic 4x4 truck with an MSRP of $72,000. Now we went and ran the numbers. Your down payment is $14,400 using your rule with 7% interest. Your sales tax at 48 months, your payment will be $1,541. So just a basic work truck can cost you this. Now, I know a lot of people watching this are like, oh, I'm not going to do 42 months or 48 months. I'm going to do 72 months. So we'll go ahead, we'll scrape it out to 72 months. You're still over $1,000 a month.
Now, sticking to this 24-10 rule is really hard to do right now because of how expensive cars have gotten. But you can do it if you keep as much of your cash in your wallet as possible and you put your savings on autopilot. And that's why I want to briefly mention the sponsor of today's video, Rocket Money. Rocket Money is an all-in-one finance platform that helps you save more and spend less. The Personal Finance Manager allows you to manage your subscription, lower your bills, monitor your credit score, and build your savings all in one place. And there's 3 main features that I think will really help your savings once you're ready to go car shopping. Number 1, Rocket Money safely and securely identifies any recurring charges and cancels unwanted subscriptions for you with just a tap. You don't have to get on the phone and try to hunt down the cancel button. Rocket Money does all the hard work for you. They can even find the best car insurance rates. All you have to do is connect your current insurance and they'll present the best options. And number 2, just by uploading a photo and tapping a button, Rocket Money can negotiate your bills for you, from internet service to cable and phone bills, which is also why the average Rocket Money member saves roughly $720 a year or up to 20% off their bills. The app can pay for itself. And number 3, Rocket Money gives you a clear picture of your net worth, including your cash, debt, investments, retirement accounts, crypto, collectible items, and shows you how it's trending over time. Rocket Money is also trusted by over 5 million members and counting. And you can try it out for free and unlock more features with premium by clicking the link below in the description of the video. Now, sometimes when you walk around a dealership, you'll notice that there's no sticker price on the window. And if you see that, those are the deals you have to be very careful of.
Yeah, like this one is kind of a nice BMW that I see people going for, but for some reason this one doesn't have a sticker price on it. Why does that happen?
Yeah, I tell everybody that's the first warning sign. If you're at a dealership and you don't see any pricing on the vehicles, that usually means that they're going to try to pre-qualify you or see how much money they can get out of you.
My friend, I give you special deal, very good price for you.
That's exactly the point. They always want to give you special pricing. Yeah, I swear, every dealership has a sales guy like that where they always want to come to you, my friend, I have a special deal for you, which means it's not a good deal. They're especially going to f you. Super bad. So I tell everybody, don't even start negotiating until you know where to start from. So if the price is not listed on the cars and you can't find them online, don't even mess with it. Just go to a different dealership unless you can find it online.
That makes sense.
So after the pandemic, every manufacturer ramped up production to get caught up with the supply and demand of new cars. There's 2 manufacturers that didn't. And these are the only 2 cars that are still selling on average over MSRP. That's Honda and Toyota. So we're going to go look at one of those dealerships now just to see how much an affordable Japanese economy car really is.
Okay, so we're here at Honda and we found the average Honda here, which are in the $30,000 range. So I'll let Lucky kind of explain what we're looking at.
Yeah, we finally found a car that fits the average monthly car payment. So this one has a sticker price of $33,000. If we were to put $6,600 down, 20% down, 48 months, you're looking at a total payment of $710. So unfortunately, there's no markup stickers on this, so they're probably going to mark it up anywhere from $5,000 to $8,000. Who knows? But we're just going off a base sticker price. So if you wanted to get a basic economy car that's Japanese that fits in this payment range, this is probably one of the few that we found. But you must be willing to put $6,600 down.
All right, so now we're gonna go see Toyota's dealership. You think this one's gonna be marked up?
Oh, 100%. I know that Toyotas are a lot more desirable, more people want them, and Toyota refuses to ramp up production. Also, on top of that, interesting note, Toyota is one of the few manufacturers that does not believe that EVs are going to be as popular as what everybody thinks they are. So they're focusing more on hybrid technology than actually going full electric. So we're here at the Toyota lot, and we actually found one car that actually has a markup over MSRP. Now, I wanted to show you a RAV4 and also the Sienna because those are the 2 most highly sought after Toyotas right now. And unfortunately, they have 0 here on the lot, but they do have this Sequoia. Now, during the pandemic, a lot of dealers were charging way over MSRP on cars, anywhere from $5, $10, $15, $20, all the way up to $100,000 over MSRP. So a lot of these people that bought G-Wagons during that time paid about 100 grand over. So this was the first one that we've seen in a while that actually has a markup, which is nice to see because before, didn't matter what make or model, they all had markups. So if you look right here at the sticker, the actual MSRP is $84,000. The dealer added, it's typical stuff, window protection, window tint, but it has a markup adjustment of $5,000, bringing the total for this Sequoia to $91,000, which is absolutely nuts. So to afford this Sequoia, you got to put $18,000 down, gives you a monthly payment of around $2,300, which is absolutely insane. We're not talking Range Rover or G-Wagon, we're talking a Toyota Sequoia.
Now I want to show you one of the cheaper used cars that we found, but what I really want to show you is that even though the price of a used car is cheaper than a new car, their monthly payment can sometimes be really close. And why this happens is because the older a car you're trying to buy and finance, the shorter the terms a bank will offer. So instead of that 48-month term that we've talked about, 4 years, they might only offer 24 months. And by shortening that duration, it increases your monthly payment, which can explain the small difference that you sometimes see between a new car payment and a used car payment.
So here's the Jeep that we found, probably the most affordable car on the actual strip so far. This is a 2014, it's about $12,000. It's got about 90,000 miles. Now, the problem with a lot of these used cars is they seem more affordable because they see the sales price at $12,000. But if you put 20% down, you're looking at about $2,400. And then on top of that, since this car is older and has more miles, it does not qualify for the 48-month loan. Banks usually charge either higher interest or shorter term on older cars to offset their risk. This is why the average used car payment is somewhere around $530, because even on a used car with the numbers we put in here, I'll show you guys, at 24 months at 15% interest, you're looking at a payment of $513. That's not very affordable on a $12,000 car. So it's almost like the banks and the dealerships want you to go out and buy a brand new car to get that average new car price or average new car payment of $756.
That's so crazy. I didn't know that depending on how old a car is will determine how long a bank would even lend you the money for.
No, it's crazy. I think that's probably one of the biggest misconceptions in the auto lending world. That's why I tell a lot of these people, don't listen to all these, financial gurus on YouTube. A lot of these formulas don't work. Banks are all about offsetting the risk. When it comes to older cars, they're going to shorten the amount financed. They're going to shorten the term. So it'll go from like 70 months to down to maybe 30 months. And then on top of that, they're going to raise the interest rate, whatever they can do to offset the risk of buying an older vehicle with higher miles.
I also wanted to get Lucky's thoughts on all these car buying rules, because the one that we've been referencing is the most popular one, the 24-10 rule. But there's a lot of other ones just like it. Like the Financial Samurai, who says that you should buy a car that's worth no more than 10% of your yearly income. So if you make $100K a year, you should buy a car that's worth no more than $10,000. Now that's really conservative, but a lot of people like to follow that rule. There's also Dave Ramsey's rule of buying a car with cash. If you can't buy it outright, then you probably shouldn't be buying it. But I also wanted to get Lucky's perspective on those rules to see if he has any of his own.
So I always think it's great to have a budget. So rules like that 24-10, there's a few other ones online, are always good to know where you stand, because it helps you look at your finances and objectively figure out what you can truly afford when it comes to buying a car. But I'm going to give you kind of a no BS assessment of how you should really approach the banks when you're buying a loan, or getting a loan on a new vehicle or used car. If you're buying a car that's 3 years or newer, you're looking at probably financing it for a term of 60 to 70 months. Go back 6 years and older, or 6 years and newer, you're probably going to get financing from maybe 60 to 48 months. And then as we go older, 7 years plus older, you're looking at probably a shorter term of 24 to 36 months. So this will give you an idea of how much a bank will offset the risk by dropping the payments. One thing you also want to remember is that if you have a very short duration of auto loan, the bank's going to try to get the most interest out of it to offset their risk. They have to show a cost. So even though you guys hear 15 to 20%, you think it's a lot, but on a 24-month loan, we're talking maybe $1,000 over 24 months in interest, which is not that much. But just be prepared for an interest rate to be higher on a shorter term loan. Oh, so we're going to get ready to pull up into a Tesla dealership just to talk about how Tesla is basically screwing their customers. I'm sure you guys have seen in the news that about 4 or 5 times this year they've dropped the price of the actual car. Now I know a lot of people think that's a good thing, but what they fail to realize is that all the people that purchase Teslas, loyal customers, have basically lost out on equity. So the easiest way I can put it is, imagine if you purchased a house for $1 million in your neighborhood, and then all of a sudden your neighbor decided to sell his house for $700,000. Now it lowers the property value of the whole entire neighborhood. That's exactly what Tesla did by dropping the prices of their models.
And I can personally confirm this Tesla story because in December 2021, I bought a fully spec'd, brand new Tesla Model Y for $72,500. But today, that same exact car with that same spec sells on Tesla's website for $62,500. A $10,000 price drop, which means, unfortunately for me, if rates ever come down, it's going to be really hard for me to refinance that car. But what's even crazier is that because rates are now at 6.5% versus the 2.5% when I bought in, their monthly payments is almost the exact same thing. Which means even though some cars are getting cheaper, because rates are still so high, it has eaten away into the savings that we all should have had. Now, lucky for me, I can still continue making payments on my car even though I'm underwater, but you can see how a lot of Americans will choose to walk away from that situation after a certain point.
Now that defaults are at an all-time high and banks are taking a lot of losses, they're typically not approving people they traditionally would. The biggest market that's affected by this is called the subprime market. It's people with basically bad or challenged credit. They can't get cars like they were able to about 2 to 3 years ago. So now a lot of these people are going to be buying cars here soon, and they're going to be going to a lot of these small independent dealerships. And unfortunately, if they're not able to get financed by a subprime bank, they're going to have to do a thing called buy here, pay here.
Buy here, pay here, by the way, is where they'll offer financing directly through their dealership. Now, the upside is that they'll take anyone with virtually any credit score, but the downside is they'll offer you an insanely high interest rate, so please stay away from those unless it's your last resort.
Now, every state has a cap when it comes to interest. It just depends what it is, but most subprime banks and also buy here, pay here dealers charge an average of 29% interest. I've seen some dealerships in some states go all the way up to 50% interest. So unfortunately, when the market is bad and we're in a recession and banks are not lending, expect to see a lot of predatory lending when it comes to buy here, pay here dealers. Now, buy here, pay here dealers are not regulated by the FDIC, so it's technically not predatory lending. That's why they're able to get away with a much higher and more predatory lending compared to like a franchise store or a traditional bank. They don't have to abide by the same FDIC rules and regulations.
People should generally avoid the smaller dealerships if they can.
If you can, you'll probably get a better deal if you already have pre-approved for financing. But if you're going to a smaller dealership to get financing, I would definitely stay away.
Okay. How important is it to get pre-approved financing?
I think that's probably the most important thing, and people always skip that because, you need to know where you're going to start from, because people have these grandeur ideas of like, I'm going to buy, like that brand new Challenger that we saw, and they're thinking in their head they're going to get a $300 payment. But when they get that $55,000 V8 Charger or Challenger, and then they realize their payment's going to be somewhere around $800 to $1,100, they're shocked. And then on top of that, throw in rising insurance costs. They're going to pay an average of maybe $200 to $300 a month of full coverage insurance. Now they're paying $1,500 a month for an average American sports car. So we wanted to bring you to Kia, which is one of the last places you can buy a car for like $21,000. But if you look over here to my left, which is the new car lot, it is absolutely empty. There are no new Kias here at this particular dealership, which blows my mind. If you look to the right, you can see the used car section, but nothing over here to our left. So I guess we won't be able to show you an affordable $21,000 car because even they do exist, you can't find it.
Well, I hope this video helped you out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to grab your free stocks. Links are down below. Go track them automatically with the spreadsheet link down below in my Patreon. Love you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Would love to see you back here on Monday, Friday, sometimes a Wednesday. See you soon. Bye-bye.